Well, hello, and welcome, my Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury signs. Welcome to your new moon to full moon reading for February to March 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mel for short. President of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and fellow earth sign. I'm a Virgo. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. We just crossed 1,000 subscribers, so I'm waiting for YouTube to review my channel so that I can do super live chat and all that other cool stuff. So if you are one of my subscribers, thank you. We made it. Oh my God, I'm so excited to do Drunk Tarot. We'll get there. We'll get there. Matter of time. I'm not violating any terms of services, so I have a feeling just a matter of time. So thank you for your support. But if you are new, please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment away. I am so thrilled with this YouTuber experience at 51 years old, having a field day. By the way, I found out last night I did a tarot party in Santa Maricha's, Long Island at Yogaholic. Just a general read, you know, sort of like all these people in the room, reading them all sort of together. And by the time I got home, it was over 1,000. And so, you know, like texting my mom. It was really cool. I was actually moved to tears a little bit. I was so fucking proud. And people were so supportive and congratulatory. What are you going to do? We're earth signs. We like to see our shit manifest, don't we? So that being said, let's get down to business. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. Check your other signs, because that's just how it works on YouTube. I'm telling you, when I read somebody, oh, you should have seen, I was nailing them left, right, and center. Last night they were like, how do you know that? I'm like, why are you here? Why did you come to a tarot party with Mark Angelo Lyons, right? So just take what resonates, leave what doesn't, because we're looking at a very, very tricky new moon to full moon next. Now, it's new moon in Pisces. That in and of itself isn't that tricky, but it's Mercury retrograde. That's why even Mercury retro is in the title of this general read for my Taurians. But it's retrograde. It goes direct on the day of the full moon, when the moon goes into what? Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So there's something tricky, something going on. Like, I just have this feeling. I'm a Pisces moon. I'm very intuitive. I can feel the collective, very tuned to particularly the moon, but the, you know, the planets in general just feels like something's going on. So that's why I added the Mercury sign to these readings. In particular, do check the Mercury retrograde reads that I did last week. They should be compatible. One would think they would be in the quantum, but you do the best you can. That being said, just remember to breathe as we do this, right? We're going to use that retrograde part to, since we're already in it, to look at, to readdress the 5 elements. That's why the element spread is mentioned. The element reading is mentioned in the title as well. Sorry, I kissed one of my kitties on the head, and now I have black cat. I can't help it. They're really cute. They're not really kitties. They're mooses, but, you know, in cat form. They're snuggle bunnies. So let's do this. Nice deep breath. You know, meandered long enough. Let's get down to Taurian business here. Nice deep breath. The more you're focused on your breath, ow, and the more it really hurts. And the more I'm focused on my breath in the present moment, the clearer, the cleaner, the more I can hear the guidance of the divine, and you're tuned to the same thing in the present moment as well. Cool. Let's do this. Nice deep breath. Still point. My angels, please. One card for this Taurian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign for this new moon to full moon next with Mercury retrograde. Just one card from your celestial point of view. What is the healing with the angels oracle card? What is the healing that the angels are offering to the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign this new moon to full moon next in Mercury retrograde? This is sort of the central card of the deck, almost a lens through which you can see everything else through in terms of the healing available to you. And it is one of serenity. Now, serenity is a choice to an extent, hence the serenity prayer, right? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You almost have to say that with this card. But then there is that thing of kind of getting, as an earth sign, particularly a fixed earth sign, that since everything's going to change eventually, let's just sit back and watch what happens, right? Let's be a little bit more serene about this. Let's go with the flow by being stable, by perhaps being they're giving me Rock of Gibraltar, right? Being the solid foundation for perhaps others around you, and you get the benefit of not being driven crazy by all of this. Call upon the angels for serenity, because sometimes serenity is that peace that passes understanding. And I think earth signs are better at that than the air signs and the water signs and the fire signs, because we're like, it's just what is. Bam. All right? Just deal, right? Be strong, be stable. And that is a form of earth sign serenity. I get there every now and again when I work it. I'm a Pisces moon. This is tricky as shit. So let's have a look-see-duck-see here. We're going to elaborate with the Daughters of the Moon. By the way, did I say all the decks that I read are in the description box below? If you want to check them out, there are links and stuff. But you can check out my links, the stuff I put in between the top and the bottom that are kind of cool. Some of my books are in there. I always give good description box. We're going to get fire, earth, air, water, spirit for you so that we can relook at your fire, your earth, your air, your water. I'll call it out as I go. All right? Nice deep breath. Still point. My goddesses, my gods, my deities, please, through this Daughters of the Moon Tarot. 5 cards, element spread. I'll call them out as we go, please, for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign for this new moon in Pisces to full moon next in Virgo with Mercury retrograde, please. What is the element of fire they need to readdress? Look at the what and the why. What is the element of earth, what they have to help them get what they want in the element of fire? What is their element of air that they need to rethink? They need to re-look at with this retrograde. There we go, element of air. What is the water, the emotional element here that they need to revisit, re-embrace, re-deal with, resolve, perhaps? And what is the element of spirit, the point of view or the voice of the soul for my lovely, beloved earth sign brother, sister, Taurus collective? All right, now keep in mind Serenity. We're going to try and pair everything back to that. So what is it that you want? Well, the Nine of Blades, the Wanderer in this deck. I know, different than the Rider-Waite Tarot we're also used to, which is, you know, that wands holding that defensive stance. This is really wanting to move on. Right, so it would make sense for a Taurus to have to take some serenity with a Mercury retrograde going on. And here's the paradox of it: we're all supposed to be waxing something, taking something at a Pisces new moon and getting it to grow until it hits its maturation, or at least its peak point at full moon, while at the same time having to rethink everything. That's very contradictory. That's tricky energy. But then it definitely says for you to look at well, if it really is something or somewhere over the next peak that the Wanderer wants to go, because they're like, what's that over there, right? Taurines usually have 2 speeds, stop and charge, right? So I'm not doing it, or nothing's going to stop me, get in my way, screw the retrograde. But to really have another look at it, not just the what you want, but the why. I can't tell you how important the why is. The why is the motivating factor. The what trails behind. So the why is the engine, the what is the caboose. People have trouble enough figuring out what they want. If they can really go into why they want it, they'll feel the quality of the element of fire there and be able to balance that out. What's the element of earth? Like the wood that feeds the fire. Gemini, your next sign. The thing about the Gemini is that ruled by Mercury. So there is a way of you gathering information here. Like, I really, as much as I kid Geminis mercilessly, my dad was one. You grow up with a crazy Gemini as a parent. You get some humor skills pretty damn quick. They're nuts. At least my dad was. But the thing about the Gemini here in the Earth position, it's that you do have information, and it may be a lot to sort through. And for a Mercury retrograde, you got a lot of thinking to do, but perhaps here's the word that they just gave to me: research. Right? Isn't research part of a retrograde? Any of the re's, right? All go into retrogrades of all kinds, but particularly you got the Gemini. Now, this could be a Gemini person or someone who's really exhibiting third house qualities of self-expression, communication, you know, all that mutable air stuff. But certainly says to me that you have the ability, what's going to feed your fires, to keep gathering information, right? Don't be so ready to jump to that night of flames just yet. Like a bee, keep going from flower to flower to flower to flower to flower. And remember, you can do that with your cell phone, right? So literally, physically, you don't got to move. So there's that. Yes, it can be about think differently as well. But it's definitely something that you already have. Element of Earth, the position of this, I always feel it's like, no, this isn't something you have to struggle with. This is something you already have. And I never take it as something that could hinder. It's always something that can help. Because even if it's something that hinders, it's to help you grow, heal, learn, evolve, and be the best that you can be. Let's look at the element of air. What's the thought here? Yeah, you're thinking about your new beginning. Now, technically, this is the card of the Fool, the dreamer, not the first card of the Major Arcana, but the 0 card, the one that has no number. So your mind is probably dreaming a bit, visioning what it is that you want, because you are trying to complete something here. You want to complete something, to take it from the 9 to the 10 in terms of a desire of something that you really have wanted. The next card in the 10 of Flames, I should say, is the Hora. Joyful completion of a desire, rite of passage, right? Bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and weddings. My stepfather's Jewish, grew up with all of that. Met him when I was 4. So, you know, the dreamer there makes sense, that your mind might be on this vision of what it is that you really want. And if that's something that gives you serenity, then getting the information can really be quite a pleasurable thing. Like, retrogrades don't have to suck. It's all about how you play Hermes' game. There he is, right up there. The trickster god, for sure. So why wouldn't he take our highest potentials, right? The things that we really want, we really value lifelong, life values, second house Taurus, and do it through this kind of funny game where things start going backwards and haywire, and it actually accelerates our growth. He's a good god. I love him. Oh boy, but what's going on for you emotionally? And the element of water is the Scorpio card. Now, you've got a Gemini and a Scorpio, so this certainly can indicate people triggering stuff for you, particularly like it's like a Gemini in your life could be triggering this depth of emotion, this Scorpio. Good news is you're not letting on, but also know that there is hidden wisdom there for you, and it is your opposite sign. If you put all 12 signs in a circle, Taurus and Scorpio are across from each other, but they're complementary opposites. First of all, they're both fixed signs, fixed water, fixed earth, and earth and water are the feminine elements, so they actually blend really well together, as opposed to, say, fire and water, which need an element of earth between them, like metal, in order to boil water, just as an example, right? So very, very interesting here, but even can speak of, yes, money, sex, and power, and your emotions, but your own depth of intuition. And of course, if you have any water planets or your moon sign, like if you know your moon sign, check into that. There's probably some deeper guidance going on here, and it's going to take the serenity to kind of float down through everything that's going on out here to really get the intuitive stuff, the stuff really being given to you by your soul. Now, this is the goddess Hecate. She's been with me my whole life. The crone, the deeper wisdom, but also the stuff that we don't show and the stuff that we don't know until we realize we've known it all along. That's why there are, like, you know, gems and things hidden under the ground, but the element of water here, something very fertile in terms of water, not like Cancer creative cardinal water, but that thing of something gestating, a gestation process, which, yes, is more Cancerian, but deeper, secret, hidden knowledge. There's the word. Thank you. Secret, hidden knowledge going on inside of you emotionally or intuitively. So let's see what's going on with the level of the soul. What did I say about Hermes' game? The soul is saying, well, you just play the game. Well, you just play the game, Taurus. Chill out. You don't have to do this all in one day. Don't try to live your life in one day. Don't go speed your time away. Comment below if you know that song, who it is, where it's from, because I love that song. Although I don't always heed it, I still love that song. enjoy this. Enjoy this Mercury retrograde. And doesn't that come with serenity, right? It's like, well, you know what? This is going to play itself out. To an extent, faith that there is a divine plan, that is the quantum field manifest, and that there's infinite number of probabilities, but the ones we experience as souls are the highest and best for our evolution, not necessarily our pleasure and comfort, can give a certain sort of serenity. What better time than a Mercury retrograde to look at the whole of life that way, right? To not just look over your shoulder at what has gone, but what is coming into your life from that place of, yeah, we'll get there. I will eventually get this complete. And yes, I do have a dream in mind. I do have something that I want to take a leap of faith about, but I am still gathering information. And my gut will tell me exactly when to jump, exactly when to do that. But in the meantime, the soul is saying, just play the game. So Bastet, the Six of Flames. Let me juggle. Let me balance my desires day by day, moment by moment, and enjoy this journey through my own serenity. As my guides have been saying to me over and over for the past 6-7 months, will you just watch the movie? It's going to be high drama, there's going to be some comedy, there's going to be some tragedy, that's just human life. But it's already scripted, it's already written, trust the divine plan, it's better than anything you could have come up with, trust us. I'm like, okay, you don't have to like it, but it's going to make it so much easier for you if you can just flow with it. Watch the movie, participate, don't be passive, but watch the movie unfold, stop trying to make it unfold. Because even with spell work, it's what you release returns to you multiplied, not, you know, what you strangle the fuck out of psychically. Is it ready? What's going? Where's it going? We all do it. We all do it. It's a part of the rite of passage of it all. It's a stage. Let's ask your higher self what's going on, my Taurians. Now, because we've got what's going on here, we're going to get a whisper of love. I love this deck. Sometimes tells you exactly what you need to do. Let's see if it does. Nice deep breath. Still point. Oh, the higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity, a whisper of love for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign. For this new moon to full moon next, considering the Mercury retrograde and all, this feels pretty good, pretty balanced. Nothing that's necessarily worrying here, particularly with that play card at the top and the angels talking about serenity. This could be easier for them than they might have expected it to be for a waxing moon, let alone a Mercury ret. So please, what's their whisper of love, higher selves of all involved? Look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. Now, then I can get that with the wanting to move on thing, to get the completion, to go from the 9 to the 10. But that's why right now it's like, still just gather information, reconsider. Now, can I just tell you, look at your pattern in relationships. That's a retrograde thing. Take the pause, right? Go within. What are you really feeling deep down about some of the relationships in your life? Is it in a place of serenity? Because that thing of serenity, it's not this blithe acceptance of what is. Like I said, it's a part of it saying, okay, all of this is happening for me. I don't have to like it. I may not understand it, but what I have is the ability to kind of collect information as I go here and keep in mind my ideal, my dream, what I want to jump into that does feel like it might be right beyond that ridge that the wanderer, because the wanderer, yes, has a general direction, but doesn't know exactly where they're going all the time. So to really tune into, well, what is it that I'm really feeling emotionally up here, and what's going on in my gut? What do I feel about this? Because intuition doesn't give you next week. It gives you what's going on right now. Be in the moment. It's a big part of Mercury retrograde, so that you can play the game with what the cues and clues being given to you now in the holographic soul incarnational game called life on planet Earth, at least as a human. I think trees might have it a little bit easier. Oh, xylem and phloem, all of that. It's totally raised by a teacher. Let's get your last card down, and then I'm going to go wash my face of cat hair. I can't help it. They're so sweet, my boys. Let's get a healing mantra card from the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck, my new favorite. I can't call it toy. It's a tool. It's helped me out quite a bit. So we're going to ask the Ascended Masters for this. So let's take a nice deep breath, because nothing like a mantra to pull you through a time of Mercury retrograde. And even if you think of planting it as a seed, then it will grow day by day. Cool, cool. Nice deep breath. Oh, my Ascended Masters, please, in the still point. One card in clarity, the perfect healing mantra for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising Mercury signs for this new moon in Pisces to full moon next in Virgo. Considering Mercury retrograde, what is the perfect healing mantra to get them through this? We've got a lot of interesting cards on the table here. Definitely a journey and a new beginning with that Serenity. There's a lot going on here, plus a Gemini in and of itself with Mercury retrograde with that Scorpio, Hecate, in water and water. Very intense, so please, what is their perfect healing mantra here, my masters? One side of the card is the mantra, the other side is the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in the book, and that's what I'm going to do. Releasing expectations, bitch. Sorry. Which that's really that totally makes sense with this, with the Serenity card. I mean, we could have just pulled these two cards. Everything else is sort of detail. Only the highest possibilities come to be whether I envision them or not. Only the highest possibilities come to be whether I envision them or not. It's like I said, in the quantum, there's like all of these infinite probabilities, but the ones we are experiencing are the ones that are for the evolution of our soul, not necessarily the comfort and pleasure of our personalities, bodies, and egos, although sometimes they do line up that way, and that's called getting what we want. But it's not that we got what we wanted what was for our highest good and our greatest joy, right? For the well-being of all. That's what we get. But that's, well, even if that's what we want, it may not always appear the way we want it to be, right? So let me look this one up. Releasing expectations. I mean, we all, what is it? Expectations are the seeds of heartache. I think I've heard that said 10,000 different ways in this lifetime. Releasing expectations, only the highest possibilities come to be, whether I envision them or not. When you release expectations, it is no longer your job to be in control of reality. Tell that to an earth sign. You are a soul birthed from the fabric of destiny, where only the perfection of universal will takes shape and form. It's all happening for us. We're not in control. Our free will is how do we want to play? How do we want to play? How do we want to play? Bitch, moan. Who skips all the way through? I don't trust that so much either. Once expectations are released, a life beyond your wildest imagination is given permission to enter your reality. And I'm going to say that with that Gemini card there, and that with the card of the dreamer, the fool, in your position of air. This mantra is ideal for having more faith, learning how to trust, and alleviating disappointment. Releasing expectations, only the highest possibilities come to be, whether I envision them or not. Well, my Taurians, I think that makes a lot of sense. I could get that there might be some emotional discomfort, particularly because not just the water in the water position, but that it's Scorpio, your opposite sign, and signs, unless you've got some water in your chart or some Scorpio in your chart. But going about this serenely, releasing expectations while you're looking at your patterns in your relationships, because they might be being like going at what do I call ex-lover, flash flood. It could be any relationship, though. Really, when you start looking at your patterns, like, are they patterns of abuse and neglect? Are they patterns of codependency? Are they patterns of loss? That somehow, by releasing expectations, you get, all right, then whatever is supposed to happen, I am going to eventually get to that 10, because there's something manifesting beyond my wildest imagination, beyond my wildest what? Dreams. But I have to go through what I'm going through right now, and the emotions may be deep and dark, but I get to play this game and see this differently, gathering information, looking at my relationships, and releasing expectations, because only the highest possibilities come to be, whether I envision them or not. That's really good. I mean, it's very practical. So may my Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury signs be blessed with all that they need this new moon in Pisces to full moon in Virgo, February to March 2020. Retrograde, schmetrograde, I want you to have that. May you be blessed with the very, very best. And so it is, as I wish you. Signing off, and again, thank you, my subscribers, for getting me past 1,000. I'm so fucking thrilled. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.